We all get to take a deep breath as we get ready for the season opener, October 12th, right here against the retooled and offensively dangerous Columbus Blue Jackets. By the way, if you're scoring at home, Hurricanes wearing the home whites tonight. That'll be interesting to see, and it'll be fun to watch Aho and Teravainen and Jarvis go at it. We are ready to go. Canes and the Lightning, the Metro champs from last year, against the conference champs from last year. This is the team that Carolina is trying to get over to get to where they want to be, the last team standing. See if in the aftermath. I'm Adam Gold.
The Carolina Hurricanes play on WCMC HD1 Holly Springs, Raleigh-Durham. 99.9 The Fan.
Carolina Hurricanes preseason hockey is brought to you by Advance Auto Parts, by Harris Teeter, Pepsi, PNC Bank, Spectrum Mobile, UNC Health, by Cardinal Apparel, Vector Security, the North Carolina Education Lottery, Spectrum Paint, and by Woodbridge Wine. You're listening to the Carolina Hurricanes Radio Network.
It's been just short of 4 months since the Carolina Hurricanes last played a game. It was right here at PNC Arena against the New York Rangers that the 21-22 season came to an end. 6-2 defeat on home ice, the only time all postseason the Canes failed to win in Raleigh. Hi, everybody. Adam Gold here, and for the first of what we hope to be about 115 of these, we'll get you ready for game 1 of 5 now in the preseason. Canes hosting the Tampa Bay Lightning in the first of, again, a 5-game exhibition slate that was supposed to be 6, but tomorrow's game in Tampa has been pushed away thanks to Hurricane Ian. We'll do all of this in an 8-day period. The season begins on October 12th right here against Columbus. Tonight, a new addition to the Hurricanes. Same core, Aho, Teravainen, Stahl, Svechnikov, Slavin, Pesce, etc., but gone are 3 of the top 6 point producers and 2 of the top 5 goal scorers from a year ago. Vincent Trocheck, Nino Niederreiter, Tony DeAngelo out. Brent Burns, Paul Stasny, Andre Kasha all in. Max Pacioretty rehabbing a torn Achilles that should make him the best trade deadline acquisition in the NHL come late February. How does Carolina close the gap on the top of the Eastern Conference? That's the Tampa Bay Lightning, isn't it? We'll get you ready for that. Give you the injuries and scratches as we roll on and get you ready for the Canes and the Lightning. After this word from your local stations on the Canes Radio Network.
At PNC Bank, we know you've got a lot of choices when it comes .com/checking offer. And with that, wallet from PNC Bank. Offer
and this station.
Svechnikov and Martin Necas will survive. Minutes together at 5-on-5. 4 has a real chance to make this roster. And
Gives me a facility relocation cost recovery.
Wildlife.
We will all have more reason to love NC.
Download the HT app to order ahead. Harris Teeter.
it's an NHL-laden lineup for the Hurricanes. Exciting to see some of these new faces and a really aggressive offseason. Brent Burns, Paul Stastny just scratching the
Eastern Conference champions 3 times in a row. Brandon Hagel and Ross Colton. Canes now with the puck in the Tampa zone. It's Kotkaniemi. Nifty little pass. Quick shot ripped right on. And that's Teravainen's chance. That goes over the top. Second opportunity hits the side of net as Teravainen was set up charging in the slot. Save on Sebastian Aho from the top of the circles. Of the Carolina Hurricanes. For the Canes up front, Max Pacioretty, who they acquired from Vegas, out with his Achilles injury. Ryan Suzuki. The Tampa Bay Lightning, Maxime Lagacé. So Lagacé's getting the nod here tonight in the pipes for John Cooper's team. Lagacé last year, by the way, had 2 starts with Tampa Bay, 3.90 goals against averages. Now Tampa's got a chance with a break, spinning in, and a backhand chance put on by Cole Koepke, just wide of Frederik Andersen, and this puck will lose the zone.
Mike, some good speed coming back from Jalen Chatfield. The very healthy competition for who your third pair is going to be. He's wearing number 5, bringing back memories of guys that have worn number 5, Stanley Cup champion Frank Caberlet, Merrick Malik many moons ago.
Now the captain for the Canes, Jordan Staal, charges in. He'll throw one through the blue paint. Save made by Lagacé, and that'll go to the corner. Now a chance to send it out in front from the newly acquired Paul Stastny. American-born Stastny, of course, the son of Peter Stastny, the outstanding, at the time, Czechoslovakian player who came over, played for the Quebec Nordique with his 3 brothers, Marion and Anton.
7-time 20-goal scorer, including 21 last year for Winnipeg. The versatility that can he play wing? Oh, such a thinker. I mean, what a fabulous career, and it's so encouraging. You know, he had a lot of suitors. He chose to come here.
When you look at a player like Stastny, and we talk about importance of preseason or fitting in, how big are games like this, even for a veteran like Paul Stastny, to kind of get his footing and get a game under his belt with his new club?
You don't know where he's going to eventually be, but you know, giving him a try right now with all sorts of competition in the middle of the ice, that's where Paul has played the vast majority of his stellar career. But you know, that's a big hole with Nino Niederreiter moving on to Nashville. The line was so good with Jordan Staal and Jesper Fast, and I think his mind can allow him to shift and play the wing, and he's always had the ability to produce points.
Carolina keeping the pressure on Tampa as that shot spun away by Lagacé. Paul trying to clear. Bouncing puck goes to the far boards. Carolina on it. Natchez with it in the dot. Little flip pass there, and Kotkaniemi shot right on. Saves made. Pesce can't keep it into the blue line, and Paul carries on for Tampa. He'll get it right back on a give and go, and he'll snap a quick shot. And Andersen tested for the first time, comes up with a glove save, and he'll hang on. 16:29 left in the first period, still looking for the first goal in this one.
Yeah, that was a committed save from Andersen, because he could have vacated the short side. You know, the Hurricanes have had some good forechecking looks, and Stastny had one from Jordan Staal, and then Svechnikov was able to get it back to Pesce for a pretty decent chance. But I like that Andersen, I mean, this is many months since he's played, coming back from that knee injury. A good committed save, staying with the puck there.
Tampa will win the draw, and they'll push it along the boards, but Chatfield will intercept, and they'll have an aerial flip into the neutral zone. Aho chases after it, but Tampa able to clear it around the boards. Alex Barré-Boulet, he had an interesting season last year at the start of the year for Tampa. Trip as he was picked up by Seattle as he was placed on waivers by Tampa. Comes back now, Carolina with a chance, and a shot by Jarvis ripped off the side of the net. As Carolina developed a quick opportunity there, and Seth Jarvis just missed. Now an opportunity for Tampa to get the puck in deep, but Barré-Boulet struggling with it. Tampa will just get it right back, though, as Gabriel Dumont will cycle behind the Canes' net. As Carolina has had the better play in the first 4 minutes of this one. Aho with a stick to that. He'll flip it out, and the Canes will make a change. Back the other way, that gives room for Dumont and Tampa. He makes it as far as the Canes' blue line, and a wrister from Roman Schmidt, all 6'6" of him that we saw in the prospect showcase. Easily handled, and Carolina skates forward off of Stahl's skates. They'll track it down in the Tampa zone. They'll go behind the net now, set up for Shea. Shea lost the handle, but he'll get it in deep. Or Stastny will have it. He'll try to play it along the boards. That pass is intercepted. And away comes Tampa, gaining the Canes' blue line, but no further. A tie-up in front of the net, and penalty is going to be called against the Light. As it looks like Gage Goncalves is going to be whistled in Carolina as Anderson heads to the bench for the extra attacker. Stastny plays it back for Svechnikov. Good work by Svechnikov in the Tampa zone. Across for Shea. Sent back down low, whipped back up top. It's Pesce. Doesn't like what he sees, sends it across. One-timer is ripped right on, and save made there by Legacy. And with the touch, the Canes will be going on the first power play of the night.
Nice early moment for a prospect, Anthony Honka. He gapped up, took away time and space with his skating ability in the neutral zone, and that caused confusion for Tampa, and then eventually it's Honka who draws the penalty. You and I had the pleasure, and Tampa was involved as well, in calling the games recently here in the prospect tournament. I thought Honka got more and more comfortable as that tournament went along, and I love the fact that he initially gapped up, taking away that time and space, and then eventually drew a penalty.
Now the Canes power play unit gets to work. Draw is won by Jarvis, hammered on by Teravainen, but saves made by Legacy, and it'll be trickled back into the Canes blue line, and Carolina will reset. You know, there's a good chance to get to work here for the power play in the preseason as Aho storms in. He'll center one, but that's deflected away. Tracked down by Teravainen. Kept in the Tampa zone. Teravainen down low to Aho. Back to Teravainen. He'll work it back to the point. Pesce has it. His wrister misses Aho's stick with the bouncing puck. Settled down by Teravainen. Back to Pesce. He'll lay it off, and a quick shot right on, and big save by Legacy. Now Pesce again with it. Off to Teravainen. Teravainen fakes the shot, but excellent play to knock it away for Eric Chernak, one of the veterans playing tonight for Tampa. Underrated defenseman, solid part of that blue line and their titles. Carolina still to work on the power play. A minute 5 left with a man advantage. Teravainen goes cross ice for Aho. His shot just wide of the net. Teravainen to the rebound. He'll ease it to the point where it's kept in. Carolina doing a great job hemming in the Lightning on this power play. Pesce wraps it around the boards. Now it's set up for Fost. Now back, it's Teravainen walking the dot to the right of Legacy. Now whipped back around for Jarvis at the right point to Pesce. Pesce, he'll float a shot through. That doesn't get through. And that is off of the body of Miguel Sergachev. And Tampa will finally get control and send this one in on Anderson. 25 seconds left on the power play.
And Mike, you had the ingredients you want. Sequentially winning the power play face-off, some good puck retrieving moments, and some noticeably good seam passes.
Carolina back in the Tampa zone, trying to work the puck to the point, but it doesn't find its intended target of Dylan Coghlan, and Tampa comes away with it, and they'll rifle a shot over the top of Anderson's net. Kept in by Cal Foote with 3 seconds left in the penalty to Goncalves, and he'll now come out of the box. Carolina in possession. Through the blue line goes Natchez. Puts a little move, but then he's run into just at the Tampa bench inside the blue line. Good play made there by Dumont to take Natchez away from the puck, but a loose puck bounces out in front, and a chance there from Natchez, and save has to be made by Legacy. And with that, we'll get a timeout. 12:23 left in the first period. Carolina and Tampa are scoreless here on the Hurricanes Radio Network.
Mike Maniscalco here, and I'm hanging out with my good friend Paul Auclair, the owner of Deep River Brewing Company and proud sponsor of your Carolina Hurricanes. Paul, tell us a little bit about Deep River Brewing Company.
Deep River Brewing Company is located at 700 West Main Street in historic downtown Clayton, North Carolina. Our brewery and tap room are open Wednesday through Sunday. We have 12 beers on tap and food trucks on site daily.
And you can find Deep River beer at local bottle shops, restaurants, and grocery stores. If you don't find Deep River at your local watering hole, make sure to ask for it by name. And remember, drink local.
Haha, saved $1 a gallon.
Looks like the refs are going to review this one.
Wait, what?
Like the rest of us, they're wondering how Bill did that.
I just used my fuel points. I get them when I shop at Harris Teeter with my Vic card. I earn a point for every $1 I spend. It's pretty easy.
After further review, 1,000 Harris Teeter fuel points does indeed equal $1 off per gallon. The ruling on the field stands.
These Harris Teeter fans love Bill.
Is this going to happen every time I fill up?
Go to harristeeter.com and learn how you can fill like Bill.
Switch to Spectrum Mobile and get unlimited data for only $29.99 per month each when you get 2 or more lines. You could save hundreds on your mobile bill. Plus, there are no added taxes, hidden fees, and no contracts. Try the Spectrum Mobile Savings Calculator today, and in 3 easy steps, you'll see how much you could save. Visit spectrummobile.com/save. Offer valid for new customers on 2 or more unlimited lines. Spectrum Internet required. Restrictions apply. Visit spectrummobile.com for details.
Well, limited season ticket membership packages are still available for the Carolina Hurricanes. Don't miss out on your chance to get discounts on tickets, merchandise, and concessions. Visit a concourse sales table or hurricanes.com/STM for more information. Alongside Trip Tracy, Mike Maniscalco here on the Hurricanes Radio Network. Trip, we're a little bit more than 7.5 minutes into the preseason. Quick thoughts on what we've seen.
The thing that you and I talked to Rod about this morning, I mean, you cannot manufacture, especially with an NHL lineup, game-like intensity when it doesn't matter. But he's looking for pace. So that's the big thing that we're looking for, and I think the Hurricanes have had it so far in the game.
Now Shea with a shot in. Legacy mishandled it. Fost on the doorstep, can't get the handle. Still loose behind the net. Grab chance. That stuff just wide. Well, the Canes making a little something out of nothing. It all started with the face-off win, Trip.
And boy, this line, with Stastny at first look at him, all 3 guys think the game so well. And the defense, as we've come to expect, has been very active for Carolina, off of 1 draws and off the rush early in the hockey game.
Now the puck hits the linesman and the Tampa zone, so that'll allow Callum Foote an opportunity to skate this one out. He'll gain center ice and wrap this in, and takes a bounce off of the stanchion in front of Anderson, and he'll calm it down, and Carolina scurries away with it. And we get a look at the line with Lane Peterson centering Alexander Pashin, who had that lacrosse goal in the Prospects tournament against the Tampa Bay Lightning Prospects. So that Hugo Alnefeld's happy he's not in the nets to try to see that again, as this shot by Pashin is ripped wide. Now Peterson sends a check along the boards, but Tampa gets to the loose biscuit and will throw it out to center ice. We're to be knocked down there by Gage Goncalves. Goncalves loses the handle, and Carolina just flips it back into the Tampa zone. 9 minutes gone by here in the first period. Preseason game number 1 for Carolina. They were supposed to play Tampa tomorrow night. That game, of course, has been postponed, and our thoughts are with everybody in Tampa Bay as Hurricane Ian is bearing down for the west coast of Florida. So for any Lightning fan listening tonight, please stay safe. We appreciate you tuning in. And our thoughts, of course, is Tampa's offside with their great broadcasting crew, Dave Michigan on the radio side, and of course Dave Randorf and Brian Engblom on the TV side, our Patriots.
Yeah, Mike, the big team, because they'll play Nashville next, not to say, you have some NHL guys on John Cooper's roster tonight, but they already left to go to Nashville. So well said, and thinking about everybody. Brian Engblom I spoke with to speak about some of their players, again, the prospects we were able to watch in the prospects tournament, and he had relocated out of the Tampa area. So our thoughts and prayers with everybody with Hurricane Ian moving up the coast.
Absolutely. And again, it's just a game. We've got 82 regular season games to get to. The important thing is everyone will be healthy and safe enough to see him when we get to the regular season. So we appreciate some of the Lightning fans who are tuning in today. As now Aho with speed through the middle of the ice, lays it off for Teravainen, tries to get it back across. Jarvis can't handle it. Aho settles it down. Worked across for Shea from Pesce. His drive right on, and Legacy gobbles that up. 9:56 left in the first. We'll take a break halfway through the first period. Carolina and Tampa still scoreless at PNC Arena on the Hurricanes Radio Network.
Together, that's how we stay in the game, ready to play. As one great team, UNC Health is keeping you well by bringing renewed focus, approach, and dedicated services close to you. Exceptional care is what you and your family deserve. Together, let's put points on the board for life well played. Team up with UNC Health, official healthcare provider of the Carolina Hurricanes.
Hi, I'm Capri, and the little thing I love about the Chick-fil-A Grilled Spicy Deluxe is the chicken. They actually put it on the grill, cooked it in the sauce. It's definitely a good grilled spicy sandwich.
Hey, I'm Michelle, and a little thing I love about the Chick-fil-A Grilled Spicy Deluxe is it's spicy and it's full of flavor. When you pair that with the kale crunch salad, it's just good.
Order a grilled spicy deluxe sandwich on the Chick-fil-A app today.
Available for a limited time. Real guests paid for the testimonials.
Hey, Hurricanes fans, no matter how you celebrate game day, it's all about the food. And Harris Teeter has everything you need. Delicious subs and wraps, fresh hot store-made pizza, all sizes of party platters or ready-to-serve wing trays, just to name a few. Plus, with Harris Teeter fuel points, you can earn free fuel with every purchase you make, up to $1 off per gallon. Stop at your Harris Teeter for great savings on all your game day needs, or download the HT app to order ahead. Harris Teeter, where Hurricanes fans shop for groceries.
Welcome back to the Hurricanes Radio Network. Carolina out shooting Tampa 13-1. 10:04 gone by in the first period, but nothing on the scoreboard to show for it. Along with Trip Chasey, I'm Mike Maniscalco. And Trip, Canes certainly have had the better of play, but you expect that with a more NHL-heavy lineup.
Do you know, I mean, the chance that was generated in terms of habits right before we went to the commercial break, Aho as the centerman comes way down low defensively, generates a ton of speed because of it, and gets it to Teravainen. I have a really good feeling about Teravainen, watching him in training camp and early in this one, that he's going to be ready to go right out of the gate. It's just a good feeling, and it's been extended here into this first period tonight.
Well, for Carolina, you expect a couple of players, and especially, hard to believe this, in his 7th season, Sebastian Aho, what he is going into. All of these players, Trip, that we are still young men, but they've been in the league now for 7 seasons, 8 seasons, and already for a player like Andrei Svechnikov, he is in his 5th season already. So these are a bunch of players who have high expectations for this season. As the Canes work the puck around the top of the umbrella, and Jesper Fast lets it go, hits a leg, and will trickle back into the Hurricane zone. Both teams will make a change.
Yeah, even with a changeover, the young core stays intact. The team that they're playing, you know, a lot of their core guys are not in the lineup, but that core in Tampa learned some very difficult lessons that served as a massive motivational tool. And I have every belief that it's done so for this Hurricanes group that had a marvelous regular season and was one win away from playing Tampa with home ice advantage. That young core is following a similar trajectory.
Now Tampa, with their younger core here tonight, working the puck in front of Anderson, and there's a dangerous chance for Paul out front. Anderson makes the save. Colton tracks down the rebound. Puck's worked across for Ryan Jones. His shot hammered on. Rebound comes out in front. Paul with his shot. Anderson with the save. Still 3 out in front. And he does a scissor kick, does Anderson, and he'll freeze it right there. Frederik Anderson tested here now for the first time in the first period, and he's got all the answers.
Freddie was, simply terrific. I don't think he got enough Vezina recognition in what he did in the regular season, and he's probably going to play 2 games out of the 6. Rod has alluded to Anderson playing 2, Ronta playing 2, and we'll see Kochetkov for sure as well. You mentioned a minute ago 13-1 in shots on goal. He's coming off of that knee injury. You want to see him get some work in a game like this, and he was certainly equal to the task right there.
Carolina sends out the line of Kotkaniemi with Necas and Svechnikov, and Kotkaniemi wins the draw. Carolina trying to clear the zone. Good work by Tampa to gap up and keep it in. As Cal Foote tries to roll it in deep. It'll be kicked past Chernak, and this will roll back into the Tampa zone. It'll make it all the way down for icing. 8:10 left in the first period, and still looking for the first goal from the other side.
Yeah, one of the players on the ice for the Tampa Bay Lightning, Jack Finley, he made an impression on me in the games that we called the prospect tournament. He's a project, second-round pick, son of longtime NHLer Jeff Finley. He's going to take the draw here against Kotkaniemi, and I think developed properly, he could have a chance.
6'6". There's a lot of them to develop if he gets there.
It's down the road, and the Hurricanes have a ton of prospects that are being developed properly and have been in Chicago. The one that I think has the real opportunity. It's so competitive that you're going to have to crash through the doors. Jack Drury, who is not dressed tonight.
As Kotkaniemi goes after it in the corner, he and Gonçalves will meet up, and the puck's still loose, and Carolina will get to it. Try to fence this one out. Kept in at the blue line by Tampa. Quick shot deflects off of Gonçalves, but that'll go wide of the Canes net, and Anderson and Carolina will clear. 7.5 left in the first. If you're talking about organizations that have found mid-round gems, the 2 of them are playing tonight. And look at what the Canes have done on the blue line with players like Jacob Slavin and Brett Pesce, and then just run down the list for what Tampa's found throughout the years, and a couple of players that they have counted on to come up. A player like Ross Colton, who was a 4th rounder in the 2016 draft. There's now a chance for Tampa, and a penalty coming up against Carolina, so the Lightning will get their first man advantage attempt here in the first period of preseason game number 1 for the Hurricanes and the Lightning.
Number 24, Jarvis was the forward tracking back and just lost a step, and because of that his stick had to come parallel. And so the Hurricanes will be, as you mentioned, shorthanded for the first time in the game, and it was Koepke, who was another guy for me. Tampa probably has one max. Probably Anthony Cirelli's going to be hurt for the first couple months of the season, shoulder surgery. Zach Bogosian as well. Koepke scored 20 goals in the American League last year, so he'd be a guy fighting for a spot.
Played his college hockey at Minnesota Duluth. You know that they can produce some good NHL players. So we saw Justin Falk come from that program, and Koepke was a 6th-round pick in the 2018 draft. Again, you got to hit on those first-rounders, Tripp, but it's such a luxury when you can find those depth players or somebody who can sparkle, who you can pick up in those middle rounds in the draft. And both these staffs should be applauded for what they've been able to do. Is now Tampa on the power play for the first time tonight, working the puck in below Anderson. And that can't be kept in at the point as that's out of the reach of Ross Colton, or it'll spin all the way back down on Legacy.
Yeah, quality reps for guys that obviously will be killing penalties in the regular season, that just cleared it with a purpose and got off, and Shea and Pesce.
As Tampa tries to reload and stood up coming into the Kane zone, and an attempt there for Vladislav Nemesnikov, who was back where it all started for him after spending last season between Detroit and Dallas. Now back with Tampa, former 1st-round pick. Puck stays in the Kane zone, worked back up to the top of the point. Sergachev lays it off, quick shot, doesn't find its way through. Aho gets a stick to it, and he's able to throw that one past Sergachev, and both teams will change up their special teams units with 45 seconds left, and the penalty to Jarvis.
Quality play, taking away the passing lane that probably prevented a goal from Dylan Coughlin. Good puck retrieval and finding Sergachev from Paul, who came from the Ottawa Senators and played very well for Tampa immediately.
Carolina will get to this puck and send it back out to the neutral zone where Foote settles it down. 25 seconds left in the penalty to Jarvis here in the first period. 5 minutes, 25 seconds remaining in the opening frame. Tampa with one last gasp, getting the puck into the Kane zone here with a man advantage. Tied up is Brandon Hagel, who came from Chicago last year in a trade. And Tampa locked up Hagel this offseason. Now working it around, Goncalves trying to get it back up top. Foote has it to the lane for Koepke. Out of the bumper spot, Hagel has it. Fans on the try. Out of the box comes Jarvis, and the Canes will spring Jarvis. He's going one-on-one with Foote. They'll try to snap a shot. Good play by Callan Foote to deflect that away, but the Carolina Hurricanes keep the puck in the Tampa zone. Svechnikov, nice move behind the Tampa net. He'll set up Natchez. Natchez to the point. One-timer by Shea, and that hits a body and rockets back out to the neutral zone. Shea will set it again. Now back for Svechnikov. Svechnikov with it. Dancing to the top of the circle. Rips a shot. Save right on. Legacy with the save. Rebound available. Kotkaniemi has it. They'll push it to the corner. Tampa, though, fencing it around. Pesce stops his former teammate Hayden Fleury from clearing. Second attempt works out better for Gabriel Dumont in Tampa. As this puck's thrown in the Kane zone. Shea goes after it. Jamel Smith gives chase. Carolina tries to clear. And the puck will be picked up by Lane Peterson. Peterson rolls it around. Pesce takes a hit to try to clear. Peterson picks the puck back up, and he'll have a chance to flip this one out of the Kane zone, and does. 3:55 left in the first period. No score. Carolina and Tampa, game 1 of the preseason. Tampa rolls the puck in on Anderson. Anderson quickly plays it away, and Carolina breaks out. Chatfield has it go through his legs in the Tampa zone. Kept in at the point. Carolina working around. Coughlin shot right on. Legacy with a save. Rebound attempt there for Stahl. His backhander doesn't find the mark. Puck comes to the near boards. That'll be scooped out to center ice. And a neat play by Ross Colton to flip it past Chatfield. Anderson there to play it. Now Carolina tries to settle it down.
What's new? I think Rod Brindamore and Jeff Daniels running the forwards will be very pleased with the Stahl line here in this period. It looks the same, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does.
And you plug in Stasny, It's been simple hockey, effective hockey. I think Rod will be pleased with the way they've looked so far.
Now Tampa with a try, rolling in on Anderson. A wrap chance right around, and Anderson gets the pad to that, stopping Barré-Boulet. Oh, a great chance, and Anderson might have gotten a pad to that, and Carolina sends it the other way. Jarvis goes into the corner. Knocked down at Teravainen trickles over the blue line.
I might have pulled something up here.
Goes over the top of the net. Canes keep it in. Shot. Knifed it away. Carolina making a change along the bench. Teravainen has to head for the whole.
Areas because when he does, and watching him
Goncalves, and Tampa's able to clear. The Barracudas in the AHL.
Yeah, and chance.
Lot of play as Mendel got a good stick there.
NCAA quarterfinals, and you know.
He's there, and the clock will expire, and that's how the first period comes to a close. After 20 minutes, the Hurricanes
When you add it to pick 3 or pick 4, you get an extra draw.
finish up this video, we're going to move on to the top line, which consists of Charlie Coyle, Trent Frederick, and Craig Smith. And, oh, you know what? My bad. We're not going there. I'm jumping ahead. I was excited to talk about this. But let's take a look at Swayman's period in general, up and down here. We were just talking about working out the kinks and everything, you know, when you know you're going to be sharing a net. But we saw some good stuff as well. You know, strong. I think we have some strong plays right here.
Really good job in front of the net. The good through the scramble. Again, these are the plays that you don't see in practice, you don't see throughout the summer when there's so much structure to the goaltender's play. So as a goalie, come preseason time, when your game finally comes, you want the 12, 15 shots. You're not really concerned about the result, but you don't want to go out here and get 4 shots, not have the puck, and not get touches. So really
You know, yeah, he's a righty, but you know, if you're going to play center, you gotta be good at it, winning draws. It doesn't help if you're, you know, below average. So, you know, it's something he's worked on. You know, I don't know also that he wants to be a fourth line center. So, you know, that you got to be careful what you wish for. So I think, you know, where he best fits is where we're going to put him. And I know he's a pretty good winger, and I want to get that dynamic kind of play back in his game. And so we'll see. I think, like I say, a lot we'll find out in the next really 10 days.
That whole group, that whole line, Andre, Jesperi, and Martin, that's all. It really seems like a very big year, maybe a big start to the year for all three of them.
Hope so. I mean, it's a young group still, that line.
Size,
I mean, it's
a lot of size
and speed. And, I mean, if they can play the way, you know, you would hope, you know, it's going to put a lot of pressure on teams. It's going to free up maybe some other guys. And, you know, we know at home certainly Jordan gets the bulk of the heavy loading, and I know that you would think it'd be an advantage for us.
Sure.
We'll see.
All right, final thing. What does tomorrow's cancellation do for you, whether it's Thursday or, I mean, it didn't change anything tonight, Monday, or Saturday and Monday as well?
Who knows? Like, I think we're a little bit, you know, we still haven't been 100% told. Well, we haven't. We don't know what's going on after tonight's game.
Right.
So whether we're heading down that way to play Florida or not, or both of them again, push back, I think everything's up in the air, and obviously much more bigger things to worry about down there than hockey games. Right. But we'll let that play out, and hopefully, you know, they'll figure something out, and, you know, and it's not as bad as it's looking.
Final thing. How much will Freddie play tonight?
Well, I would love him to play the whole game. You know, obviously if we're not playing well and he's, you know, the circumstances will dictate that. But, I mean, the plan was to give him the whole game and kind of, you know, go from there.
Good luck. Good interview with Rod Brindamore. He always has a lot of cool things to say. We'll come back. We'll give you some game analysis, and we'll get you an NHL scoreboard. You are listening to the Carolina Hurricanes Radio Network after this from your local stations.
Hello, I'm John Heister for John Heister Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram in Lillington. Customers ask us all the time, how can we sell that many vehicles in a small town like Lillington? The answer's simple. We do what we say we're going to do. So if you're in the market for a Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram, get off your keister and come to Heister. And by the way, you won't have to hear blah, 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 all included.
It's Ram Power Days. Come get your Ram 1500 while there's 0% on all 2022 Ram 1500 Classic, Bighorn packages and Laramies. Plus 0% for 72 months on 2022 Gladiator Overland packages now at John Heister Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram in Lillington.
It's bow time. So it's game time, and you got a bunch of rabid fans.
Dad, we're hungry.
You head out to fire up burgers and dogs and go from grill master to MVP. Then you realize you're out of GAS. Yup, out of gas on game day. What do? Drop a big bow box on it. Game on. Feed a family of 4 with 8 pieces of chicken, biscuits, fixins, and tea. It's bow time.
Planning a tailgate? Then it's bow time. Bojangles has everything you need for the perfect tailgate, no matter how many fans you're trying to feed. There's the original tailgate, the super tailgate, and for a really big crowd, the jumbo tailgate special. And if you like your chicken off the bone, choose the Supreme's Tailgate Special that includes 12 perfectly seasoned tenderloin fillets. So grab the tickets, get that Bojangles Tailgate Special, and go. It's Bo time.
Time for some game analysis brought to you by Advance Auto Parts. Advance your auto. Good work from Jalen Chatfield and Dylan Conklin on the second pair defensively. Chatfield set up Seth Jarvis for that one try. Was otherwise active. Also, both prospects were good. Alexander Pashin showed some shiftiness and wiggle with the puck. Anthony Honta showed strength and puck management and drawing the game's first penalty. So good things on the horizon there. Now to the NHL scoreboard, brought to you by Cardinal Apparel, proud partner and T-shirt provider of the Carolina Hurricanes. And here's a good score. Penguins and Red Wings 1-1. Brock McGinn, former Hurricane, with his first goal of the preseason. Dominic Kubalik for the Red Wings. Devils lead the Islanders 2-1. Rangers with a 2-1 with a 1-0 lead over the Bruins. Adam Fox with a goal there. Flyers and Sabres tied at 1 as well. We'll be back for the start of the second period. Mike and Tripp straight ahead. Scoreless in Raleigh.
Switch to Spectrum Mobile and get unlimited data for only $29.99 per month each when you get 2 or more lines. You could save hundreds on your mobile bill. Plus, there are no added taxes, hidden fees, and no contracts. Try the Spectrum Mobile Savings Calculator today, and in 3 easy steps, you'll see how much you could save. Visit SpectrumMobile.com/save. Offer valid for new customers on 2 or more unlimited lines. Spectrum Internet required. Restrictions apply. Visit SpectrumMobile.com for details.
We know that juicy, cheesy, grilled to perfection burger sounds amazing, but it does sound like something is missing. Pepsi, baby! The yin to this burger's yang. Burgers and Pepsi go together like burgers and Pepsi. This perfect blending of flavors makes every bite of lettuce, every sesame seed on the bun, and every sip of that crisp, refreshing, ice-cold cola a journey to Foodtopia. Burgers, better with Pepsi. That's what I like.
Is that the sound of an ooey gooey cheesy crunchy slice of P-I-Z-Z-A? Obviously, but as good as that sounds, we think it can get even better. Oh yeah, that's the sound of a freshly opened fizz-filled Pepsi. The only thing that can take this flavor medley of crunchy dough, mouth-watering cheese, and savory sauce to the next level. How about another bite? Pepsi and pizza sound like a match made in heaven and taste even better. Pizza, better with Pepsi. That's what I like.
Carolina Hurricanes hockey on the Hurricanes Radio Network preseason game number 1. 20 minutes in the books. Carolina out shooting Tampa Bay 15-4 alongside Tripp Tracy. I'm Mike Maniscalco. All right, Tripp, your thoughts on that first 20 minutes and a little bit more that you want to see here in the second period from Carolina.
We've come to expect it, but I liked how active Carolina's defense was, and that was represented in the shots on goal. And Shea had 2, Pesce had a couple, Coughlin had a couple, Chatfield set up a good chance, and the insatiable appetite to get better. Andrei Svechnikov, he had 3 shots, and I thought that, as I expected, there was some real conviction to his game, but I thought it was a good period of hockey for the Hurricanes.
Second period is underway. Tampa wins the draw, but Carolina quickly to it, sending it back the length of the ice. Natchez giving chase, and he's able to scoop up the puck. Good forecheck from Marty Natchez. Big year here for Natchez. Tripp. This is a big season. He had a contract extension. He's still on a restricted free agent deal. 2 years to remain here with Carolina. You've got to think a chance to play with Kotkaniemi and Svechnikov, an offensive line. He'll have a chance to show that flair to his game.
There's always a player that, for me, it's important for him to have things go well early, to get off to a good start. And I think Natchez is certainly on my short list. It's just been practices and a period of hockey, but I've liked what I've seen. But, when October 12th comes and Columbus is in town, he's a guy that if something good can happen early, in particular for him, I think it'll be very helpful.
Well, he likes playing the Tampa Bay Lightning. 2 overtime game-winning goals against Tampa in his career. He had 2 goals in 3 games last year against Tampa. By the way, Carolina was 2-0-1 against the Lightning in the regular season last year. Of course, that's last year in the regular season. Preseason game right now is Tampa putting the pressure on Carolina. Loose puck, though, is neatly knocked away by Chatfield back into the Tampa end.
Yeah, and those 2 wins, Freddie Anderson beat Andrei Vasilevsky. And those were 2 quality wins. Ronta played well the game in Tampa. It was a back-to-back. Carolina had won in Washington the night before. So that was a quality point, even though they lost the game.
Now Chatfield's long stretch pass, that's broken up. Good stick there by Ryan Jones. Tampa, though, having a tough time getting the puck out of their own end after that try from Carolina. Now going D to D. Jones with Roman Schmidt. Now Jones, he will clear this one, but only as far as center ice. Excellent play there by Jordan Stahl. And again, Trip, I thought that was a pretty astute point early on that Stastny has fit in with this line the way that Rod Brindamore wanted him to. And I think you could make the case last year the Canes' most consistent line was Niederreiter, Stahl, and Fost. And now Stastny, through just one period of play, looks at home with his fellow line mates. As Tampa now has the puck in the Cane zone, trying to send that one out in front, nobody home, and that'll eke out into center ice, and Tampa has to retrieve it.
Good defensive play there from the winger, recognizing help was needed in the slot from Jesper Fost, and he had to come over the stick, but he's so smart that he avoided taking a penalty. I mean, I've said it before, Jesper Fost is a joy to watch, and his execution for the most part in rarefied air is pretty darn similar every period, every night.
And how tough, I mean, you say that and people think, well, they're a professional athlete, that's part of the plan, but how tough is that? Every night, as you say, out of Jesper Fost or out of anybody, same thing for me with Jordan Stahl. You know this is what you're going to get out of this player every shift, no matter how much you ask of him to play or how little you ask of him to play.
In 24 years for me, there's probably less than 5 guys and all the great Hurricane players that you could say that. Watching from up here on press row, you know how it's going to look. They're going to have good nights, they're going to have tough nights, sure. But in terms of playing the game correctly, that it looks the same with such unbelievable consistency. Probably over my 24 years, that there's less than 5 that I would say that about.
Now it's Tampa.
Brindamore being one.
Starts there as Tampa now has an opportunity. 2-on-1, busting in, and Anderson makes the save. As Nick Paul had the chance coming in off of the Tampa bench, he snuck in on a line change as it's the second period, so the long change is for both teams, but almost working out for Tampa Bay offensively there. Good work behind the net, and now Peterson's going to be whistled as Colton was taken down. Ross Colton, strong move behind the net. Peterson takes him down. Carolina touches the puck, and Tampa will be going on the power play for the second time this evening.
Ross Colton has been such a find for the Lightning. I think we called the game that may have been his first in the NHL. Vermont Catamount.
Carolina penalty number 41. 2 minutes rolling.
So tough to crack their lineup. You know, back-to-back Stanley Cup champions go to the final again, and a critical piece in their second cup. And here he just gained inside positioning on Peterson, and because of that, Peterson guilty of the hold, the former San Jose Shark, Anaheim Duck. But Russ Colton has had to earn his way to having a very significant role with Tampa.
Face off coming up to the right of Anderson. Paul will squirt that along the boards. It'll be kept in by Sergachev. Try to get the puck down low. Excellent work by Natchez, and he'll send it free for Stahl. Stahl has a step. He puts his shot, and Legacy makes the save as Stahl had an angle, tried to pick the near corner. Second opportunity for Stahl. That's deflected away as the captain walked out of it from the corner. So Carolina, 2 dangerous shorthanded chances the first 25 seconds of Tampa's power play. An opportunity for Nemesnikov. He is thwarted at the Canes blue line. Now Paul loses the handle. Chatfield goes back to get it. He'll hold up some space for Mendel. Mendel tries to clear, kept in by Tampa. Nemesnikov now for Colton. Back to the point. Sergachev, quick shot put right on as it found Barré-Boulet, and Anderson will hang on, face off, staying in the Cane zone. 50 seconds gone by in the penalty to Lane Peterson.
Well, Freddie, like 25 minutes for Freddie, very encouraging. Griffin Mendel actually made the play to Jordan, to Marty Natchez, eventually Jordan Stahl, the shorthanded chance. Then the shift got a little bit long for Mendel and company, and the stretch that you don't want to have, led to a quality opportunity, and Freddie absorbed it.
Now face off to the right of Anderson. Tampa able to keep it in at the point for right now. Foot throws it into the corner. Puck rattles around. Shea goes after it. Pesci's down there. Good work by Pesci to help reverse it. Aho chops at it. Gets past Foot. And Tampa retreats to their zone. 50 seconds left in the penalty to Lane Peterson. 14 minutes, 50 seconds left in the second period. And this puck will go into the Tampa Bay bench as the Lightning had trouble gaining the zone. So bring the face-off outside of the Canes' end. And looks like the Canes' penalty killers are picking up where they left off in the regular season.
And you're trying to get guys in a game-like groove, and because of that, we've already seen 3 shifts on the defenseman here killing this penalty. And it still has 43 seconds left. You prevent that entry. So now being Chatfield and Coughlin on the ice, this is the third set of defensemen that have killed this penalty, and it's just over halfway done.
Well, Paul Stastny, the veteran, wins the draw, but he doesn't win it back. He pushed it forward into the Tampa Bay zone, the savvy of Stastny, and that takes this power play for Tampa down to 30 seconds. And again, the Canes giving absolutely no quarter for this Lightning power play as Paul will settle it down into the Hurricane zone. Sergachev whips it across, deflected wide of the net of Anderson, now behind the net. Mesnikov tries to get to it. Along the boards it goes, and it'll be Coughlin. Coughlin trying to tie it up. Tampa Bay, though, keeps it in. And Sergachev, just inside the blue line, leaves it for Nemestikov. His shot right on, gloved away by Anderson, and the rebound comes all the way out to the neutral zone, and Peterson, shot out of a cannon, goes after it, but he'll head to the bench. Carolina will make a change, and now a stretch pass for Koepke. And that's going to be whistled offside. So we get a break in the action. 13:52 left in the second period. Carolina and Tampa Bay scoreless on the Hurricanes Radio Network. Mike Maniscalco here, and I'm hanging out with my good friend Paul Auclair, the owner of Deep River Brewing Company and proud sponsor of your Carolina Hurricanes. Paul, tell us a little bit about Deep River Brewing Company.
Deep River Brewing Company is located at 700 West Main Street in historic downtown Clayton, North Carolina. Our brewery and tap room are open Wednesday through Sunday. We have 12 beers on tap and food trucks on site daily.
And you can find Deep River beer at local bottle shops, restaurants, and grocery stores. If you don't find Deep River at your local watering hole, make sure to ask for it by name. And remember, drink local.
Switch to Spectrum Mobile and get unlimited data for only $29.99 per month each when you get 2 or more lines. You could save hundreds on your mobile bill. Plus, there are no added taxes, hidden fees, and no contracts. Try the Spectrum Mobile Savings Calculator today, and in 3 easy steps, you'll see how much you could save. Visit SpectrumMobile.com/save. Offer valid for new customers on 2 or more unlimited lines. Spectrum Internet required. Restrictions apply. Visit SpectrumMobile.com for details.
As the official security partner of the Carolina Hurricanes, Vector Security is invested in the success of everyone in the Triangle. If you run a business here, they understand your primary focus is serving your customers. And a big part of that is making sure your customers, your employees, and your inventory are all safe and secure. Vector Security can help. Schedule a free business security health check today, and one of their local security experts will help assess your needs. Visit them online at vectorsecurity.com/Canes to learn more. Well, Caniacs hockey season is back. That means it's tailgating season at PNC Arena. You can get everything you need for your Caniac tailgates at your local Harris Teeter, longtime partner of the Carolina Hurricanes. Shop in-store, online, or on the go with the Harris Teeter app. Good for you, Tripp. You can pick up something healthy on the way home after the game tonight.
Yeah, and I'm looking at this face-off, and the Kokaniemi line will be on the ice, and this side, where you typically would have a righty, this is going to be a challenge. That's Trocheck was a righty, took draws. You have wingers that can take draws. So these are just areas I'm looking at.
Canes win the draw. Natchez snaps one right on. Legacy makes the save. Svechnikov, he's able to dig that out, throw it around the boards. And it's kept in, and now to be sent the other way and handled by Forche.
That's where a guy, let's just say this line stays the same, that Natchez, if he's able to hone his face-off skills, hypothetically, if Natchez shows real growth in that department, he could take him on one side, Kokaniemi could on the other side, and then all of a sudden you're covered at both dots.
Kokaniemi centers it just out of the reach of Svechnikov. Tampa finds a way to just get this one out of the zone. Although I also go back to Now a giveaway, but have a whistle behind the play. I'm going to say that Tampa is offside, and some tempers are flaring as Pesce has a couple of words for Gabriel Dumont after the whistle. But I was going to say, as Rod Brindamore has told us, it starts with a guy in the dot, but everybody has a part to play when it comes to winning a face.
Everybody has a part, but that's why you see a bunch of guys other than your slotted centerman taking face-offs at the end of morning skates, as we saw this morning in practice, whether it be Seth Jarvis, Marty Necas. Those are, so say Jarvis gets to a point where he becomes serviceable, then, Aho, maybe, I'm talking big picture type stuff, but that you can be covered on both dots. And then you're really in business, because then, it's a group effort, but you can win them clean.
Pashin tries to make a play. He dances in, and Legacy makes a clean save as Alexander Pashin showing some of that skill set trip.
Well, same end that you called his lacrosse goal in the final game for both teams of the rookie tournament. And I thought he showed some real confidence with the puck. Jones, the rangy Lightning defenseman, went down with that stick, and he was still able to find the interior and force Legacy to make a good save. He'll be in Chicago this year, acclimating to North America. There'll be some Russian insulation there. Boy, a good amount of Finns and Russians for first-year coach Brock Sheahan and the defending Calder Cup champion Chicago Wolves.
As you mentioned that, Vasily Ponomarov really showed well.
Yes, he did. No fear, great skill. He adjusted seamlessly to North America, coming over and joining Chicago last season.
Canes trying to put some pressure on, but this will be poked out to the neutral zone. Pashin waiting for it. He'll get it to Peterson. He'll collide with Jones. He's able to help work it back to the point where Chatfield settles it down. He plays it around the boards. Coughlin goes and get it. Center out in front. That's ripped just wide. Oh, nice play by Coughlin, as he was trying to set up out in front as the defenseman had jumped all the way in and almost connecting there with Stastny. Stastny now has the puck in the Tampa zone. He puts it in the slot. Shot right out. Rebound's available. That's knocked high by Stahl. Stahl gets to it behind the net. Lead for Stastny. Now Chatfield's drive. That's deflected over the top of Legacy's net. Oh, the Canes are buzzing right now around the Tampa Bay net. Finally, it's settled down by the Lightning. It'll be hammered off the boards by Schmidt. And this is going to come back into the Tampa zone. Icing, but that was the only play Schmidt could make. Carolina did everything but light the lamp.
Best offensive shift of the game as we approach the halfway point of regulation for Dylan Coughlin. He does things at top speed offensively, including finding Stastny. Then he reloads, continues to be part of the play. Chatfield leaned into one, had a good chance, and go figure, the line that was on the ice doing the heavy lifting was Stahl, Fost, and Paul Stastny.
Now Aho will take the draw for Carolina against Finley. Carolina keeps it in at the point. Shea batters that one a little bit wide. Canes trying to pick it up along the boards. Aho gets a stick to it, but it'll just squirt out over the Tampa Bay blue line. Tampa gets to reload here. Jones has been on the ice for a while. He needs a change. Tampa finally gains center ice and will roll this in. Anderson plays it. Lightning make a change. Pesce has it. Head up. He's looking for a stretch pass. Instead, he leaves it for Jarvis. Jarvis carries the mail into the Tampa zone. Back for Aho. Now to Pesce. Pesce risks one. That's deflected away. Good work there by Jarvis. That'll be knocked away by Sergachev. Now Paul has it. Off the skate of Teravainen. Tampa keeps it in. Paul with the chance. And Anderson gets across and makes the save. Rebound Tampa back out in front for Colton. But that's intercepted. Good defensive play from the Canes. And they'll survive and throw this one back into the Tampa zone. As Teravainen got a stick to that. Tampa's best chance of the period.
Yeah, and Jarvis a good back check as well. It's a whole different animal for Seth Jarvis. I mean, against Tampa last year, he was making a statement that he was going to stay in the NHL. Now he's an NHLer, so it's another tough step.
Now Necas with a feed across, and Legacy is able to rob Svechnikov. Oh, beautiful seam pass there by Necas, a one-timer by Svechnikov, but Legacy's best save of the game. Carolina back on it, Kotkaniemi. He sends it across for Chatfield. Chatfield had it has his stick lifted by Nemestikov, and now we'll get a whistle behind the play. High sticking is the call. Carolina will be getting their second power play of the evening.
Kokoniemi, Svechnikov, and Natchez, they're very friendly off the ice. And we have lines, of course, as always, will be a fluid situation. Nemestikov guilty of the high stick. But, I mean, that was excellent stuff. Kokoniemi has seen the open ice very well in this game. That gorgeous sauce from Natchez to Svechnikov. And Svechnikov, I mean, it's just a terrific save. He got that to the net with pace very quickly on his natural left side.
You know, Legacy last year, he had a 23-9-2 record with Syracuse, Trip.
He's a 29-year-old guy, you know, a reliable third guy in the organization. Every organization needs it. He was an undrafted player. Originally signed a contract with Dallas. He's moved around to different organizations, Vegas, Boston, being a couple. You have the greatest goaltender on the planet in Vasilevsky, Brian Elliott, a journeyman veteran backup, and you need a good third guy.
Carolina on the power play. 13 seconds have gone by. Face off to the left of Legacy. Teravainen. He has it to Pesce. It's worked across Jarvis, spinning away. Throws it behind the net. Aho now for Teravainen. Up top, Pesce's drive. That's deflected by Hagel, and that'll go out of play into the netting behind Maxime Legacy.
Yeah, and he played a couple of games in Legacy for John Cooper and the Lightning last year. You can never have, you know, enough depth, and I mean, that's why I pinch myself, because at every position, by my calculations, the Hurricanes, attempting to make the playoffs for the 5th consecutive year. I mean, there's all sorts of depth at every position, and that's not a rose-colored look, because I remember when there wasn't, and I mean, it just makes it very difficult to make the NHL lineup, and if injuries happen, you have enough depth to be able to deal with it.
You look at last year, Anderson, Ronta, and the Canes dipped down to Alex Lyon in that reliable number 3 role.
Won a huge game against St. Louis before a road trip. And then, of course, Kochetkov and what he came in and did to beat New Jersey, relief, beat the Islanders, and clinch the Metropolitan Division in New York against the Rangers.
Again, can never have, if we're going to cross a sport, it's like baseball. You can never have enough pitching. You can never have enough goaltender depth in your organization. Now the Canes have 50 seconds left on this power play. Stasny with it, off the boards, kept in by Coghlan. Coghlan gets a return feed. He'll wire one through, and Legacy sees it and kicks that to the corner. Now, this is an interesting role for Dylan Coghlan with a chance to quarterback the second power play for Carolina.
Well, he has the ability to, when proper, like he did there, get to the middle, get the puck to the net quickly. And there's no hesitation. There's just one snap of the wrist, and he gets it there quickly with quite a bit of pace.
He came across with Max Pacioretty on July 13th for future considerations from Vegas for this Canes team. And an opportunity now is 10 seconds left on the power play. Sent back for Svechnikov. He scores on the power play. Oh, that thing was an absolute rocket. And the Canes go up 1-0.
I watched Svechnikov this morning because last year was the first year that he started scoring a couple of goals with a slap shot, and he started to incorporate a one-timer into his game. And just watching the morning skate today, I watched how more natural a one-timer has become for him. Because I guarantee you he worked on it with regularity this summer with his training in Russia. He was as fit of a guy as Carolina had coming into camp. That wasn't a one-timer. He just leaned in and slapped it home. Perfect placement, high to the glove. But you just love to have core players in your organization that really invest fully in the offseason to improve all of the things that they do. And by far, he had his most complete year, by far, last season, in being able to touch the game positively in so many different ways.
So our first goal of the game comes with 11:50 gone by in the second period. Svechnikov, first of the preseason, give the assist to Kotkaniemi and Dylan Coghlan. And a good placement, as you mentioned, good puck placement by Kotkaniemi after he takes that Coghlan pass.
Kotkaniemi, last year at different points, he was the bumper position man in the middle, very effective on the power play. He certainly was there, putting in Andre's wheelhouse.
Well, 7:53 left here in the second period, and the Canes up 1-0. We'll take a quick timeout and be back after this on the Hurricanes Radio Network.
Hi, I'm Capri, and the little thing I love about the Chick-fil-A Grilled Spicy Deluxe is the chicken. They actually put it on the grill, cooked it in the sauce. It's definitely a good grilled spicy sandwich.
Hey, I'm Michelle, and a little thing I love about the Chick-fil-A Grilled Spicy Deluxe is it's spicy and it's full of flavor. When you pair that with the kale crunch salad, it's just good.
Order a grilled spicy deluxe sandwich on the Chick-fil-A app today. Available for a limited time. Real guests paid for their testimonials.
NHLShop.com, the official online store of the National Hockey League, and the world's largest selection of officially licensed NHL fan gear, with unique one-of-a-kind designs by Fanatics, Adidas, and all the latest styles for every NHL team. Don't miss out. Shop now and get today's special offer. NHLShop.com, a Fanatics experience.
As the official security partner of the Carolina Hurricanes, Vector Security is invested in the success of everyone in the Triangle. If you run a business here, they understand your primary focus is serving your customers, and a big part of that is making sure your customers, your employees, and your inventory are all safe and secure. Vector Security can help. Schedule a free business security health check today, and one of their local security experts will help assess your needs. Visit them online at vectorsecurity.com/Canes to learn more. 7:53 left in the second, alongside Trip Tracy. Mike Maniscalco here on the Hurricanes Radio Network. Andrei Svechnikov has just put Carolina up by that 1-0 marker here on the power play. Trip, a reminder for all of our listening audience, tomorrow's game against Tampa has been postponed. We will next be on the air on Thursday from Sunrise, Florida, when the Hurricanes take on the Panthers in what will be preseason game number 2 for the Canes now.
Yeah, and then the Panthers will be here on Saturday afternoon. It's going to be a ton. I'm still absorbing. I mean, just what a howitzer of a shot that was from Svechnikov. I mean, he's come by it very honestly. He wants to be thought of as being a star in the National Hockey League. And icing on the play, it gives me a chance to elaborate on how complete his game was last year, how reliable he became defensively, difference-making at times he became defensively. You know, his physicality became channeled even more positively.
189 hits last year.
And he produced. So, and it's my belief in the playoffs, he had that as clean as the day is long, picture-perfect hit on Hampus Lindholm, and I think he felt badly about it. You know, so he's going to learn, and you know, and just the way he invests in his off season to come back in, work on things that maybe were not necessarily weaknesses, but he will make now strengths.
Now Nemesnikov works around Honka. He comes in and Anderson makes the save, and then he's crashed into by Nemesnikov, and the net comes off of the moorings, and we're off of the pegs now, and we'll stop play there. There was no ill intention by Nemesnikov there, just knocked into Anderson.
Yeah, you're right about that. But of course, everybody is concerned about one thing, and after making another fine save, is Anderson okay? And he is okay. It was, some pressure from Mendel. I mean, nothing that the veteran Nemesnikov can do, but all sorts of good signs. I mean, in stopping 10 shots, and Anderson has probably had to make 4 or 5 quality saves, but now he absorbs some contact and he gets through it no problem. So very good return through the first half of this game for Freddie.
Canes out shooting Tampa this period, 12-6. And you came up, you played the position, you were a goalie. It has been a long time. Again, this is Frederik Andersen's first game since April 16th. And there's, as you know, there's no roadmap. There's no perfect thing that you want to see for. But what have you noticed from Frederik from this first game action that he's seen?
He looks like he hasn't missed a beat, but for Freddie, I mean, he is a very diligent guy when it comes to preparation. He's minimized it over the years to some degree, but there's a lot that goes into his game day. For instance, I don't talk to him on game day, just because I know, there's a ton that goes into it. On off days, we'll have, really good content-filled conversations. But just to go through the whole preparation and his actual execution has looked very good.
Now Honka with it in the Tampa zone and deflected just wide as it was knocked just an inch away from Stromwell. It was a good look there from Anthony Honka, as Legacy would have been caught out of the net leaning for the shot, but couldn't connect there. Anderson now plays it around the board. 6:15 left in the first period. 1-0 Carolina over Tampa Bay. Canes fielding a little bit more of an NHL roster here tonight. It's Kotkaniemi with a sneaky shot. And Legacy's got to make a blocker save there. Loose puck will be slapped down the ice. Just wide of Anderson's net. Chatfield wins the skate race. Icing with 6 minutes even remaining here in the second period.
Kotkaniemi has always had a good release, but it really made an impression with me this morning. The puck seems to be exploding off of his stick that much more. And so that was a heavy shot. He forced Legacy to make a quality save from the sharp angle on the blocker's side.
Face off to the right of Legacy. You say that the shot's exploding off of Kotkaniemi's stick. How much of that is a product of him?
I think he's
just
stronger.
Getting older and stronger.
I think he is stronger. I made a comment to him when I saw him first year back in Raleigh a couple of weeks ago that I had seen a picture that he had taken in Crete, and I said, "You look stronger to me." And then the release caught my attention this morning.
Now Canes, Chatfield shot. Sent it across for Coughlin, who wires one low, and that goes wide. Penalty coming up to Tampa. Anderson heads to the bench for the extra attacker. Natchez tries to sweep it back, but it'll be touched up by the Lightning, and 5:38 left in the second period. When we come back, Carolina going on their third power play tonight, leading the Tampa Bay Lightning 1-0 here on the Hurricanes Radio Network.
Hey, Ed Vance for Advance Auto Parts here. Welcome to Ed Talk Radio, Episode 1. Who the heck is Ed Vance? Well, Ed Vance is a guy, me, who loves Advance Auto Parts. Not just because of the Advance thing. Ed Vance is a car lover. Ed Vance is a guy who loves die-hard batteries, oil bundles, and air fresheners. Ed Vance is not sure why he refers to himself in third person. Thanks for listening to my Ed Talk.
This is how we advance.
Hey Hurricanes fans, no matter how you celebrate game day, it's all about the food. And Harris Teeter has everything you need. Delicious subs and wraps, fresh hot store-made pizza, all sizes of party platters or ready-to-serve wing trays, just to name a few. Plus, with Harris Teeter fuel points, you can earn free fuel with every purchase you make, up to $1 off per gallon. Stop at your Harris Teeter for great savings on all your game day needs, or download the HT app to order ahead. Harris Teeter, where Hurricanes fans shop for groceries.
Together, that's how we stay in the game, ready to play. As one great team, UNC Health is keeping you well by bringing renewed focus, approach, and dedicated services close to you. Exceptional care is what you and your family deserve. Together, let's put points on the board for life well played. Team up with UNC Health, official healthcare provider of the Carolina Hurricanes.
With Chip Tracy, Mike Maniscalco here on the call on the Hurricanes Radio Network. Our technical advisor and engineer, the one and only John Brockwell, back for his 25th season of Carolina Hurricanes hockey. Trip, as the Canes going on their third power play of the evening. They do have a power play goal this period as Andrei Svechnikov. But an absolute, as I will quote you, howitzer go and beat Legacy to give the Canes a 1-0 lead. That's where it stands with 5:38 to go here in the period.
Yeah, you probably see on this group, Aho, Teravainen, and Jarvis, 3 of the 5 members of what will be the first power play unit. We'll see the bearded one, I'm sure, Brett Burns, where Pesce is right now.
Cal Foote in the box for hooking for Tampa. Carolina 1 for 2, trying to make it 2 for 3 as Jarvis gets it to Pesce, right back to Jarvis. Jarvis trying to work away from Paul. Sends it down low to Aho in the slot. Aho loses the handle, gets it to Pesce, though. Pesce keeps it in just inside the blue line. Deflected off of Paul. Teravainen Lays it back for Pesce. His quick snapshot deflects off of Jesper Fast and into the corner. Right idea from Pesce. Had a lane and some traffic in front.
Yeah, so where Pesce is, it'll be Burns and Jesper Fast, a righty. So much of your decision-making, has to do with righties or lefties. And Andre Kasha, who's had a knack for finding the back of the net, has seen some reps, so he could be a guy that is a righty that could be featured on that unit that I mentioned.
Well, Tampa gets to the loose puck and will wrist this one all the way down to Anderson. Good play there made by Hayden Fleury, former Carolina Hurricane first-round pick. Natchez, though, on it, and he'll send the puck back into the Tampa zone. Good play by Stastny on it, keeping it at the blue line. He'll get it to Kotkaniemi. Now Coughlin. Coughlin and Natchez walking through the right face-off circle up top. Coughlin, he scores! Oh! A laser out in front, might have been deflected, but Coughlin puts it on net, traffic in front, and Carolina, they're second on the power play, goes up 2-0.
Yeah, I think it's Stastny that gets a piece. Initially, the referees get together to make sure that there was not a high stick. The hand-eye coordination of Paul Stastny, and this is just terrific. Heck of a job supporting Svechnikov from Kotkaniemi. Kotkaniemi will get his second assist. Coughlin gets the middle of the ice. And Paul Stastny has always had that sense of when to arrive at the net. And, when your stick is, I'm talking to Justin Williams, another great thinker of the game about it. Usually when your stick gets above your knees, you're tipping it down. If it's at or below your knees, you're tipping it up. And just a beautiful redirection.
Well, for the Canes, the power play is now 2 for 3. And I know that will make Rod Brindamore and company happy with what they've seen. And welcome to Raleigh, Paul Stastny with that goal. I know it's the preseason, but 21 last year for Winnipeg. And you're able to add that. And that was a signing late, as you mentioned, Tripp. He had his chance to go anywhere. Yeah. August 23rd, he signs the contract to come to Carolina.
Yeah, and it's obviously the very unfortunate news involving Max Pacioretty. It's great to see Max around the rink. Think a couple of years ago when the Hurricanes ran into it, the Kucherov came back for the playoffs. Max will be slated long before that, but that allows you, and very aggressively and creatively for President and General Manager Don Waddell to sign Paul Stastny, and yeah, what a State of the Union of the Hurricanes organization that he wanted to be here, and that's just a gorgeous redirection. Loved every bit of everything about that goal.
Jarvis charging into the Tampa zone. His centering pass trickles along the goal line as Legacy got his pad to that and almost deflected it in himself. Now a turnover. Aho with it. He's going hunting for a goal over the top of the net. Legacy gets a piece of that, and then the crossbar helps him out. Paul tries to settle the puck down. He'll get it to Foot. Foot can't clear. It'll come back for Jarvis behind the net. Jarvis centers it all the way back to the point. Honka gets to it. Honka rolls it around where Aho gets to it behind the net. Too far for him, and the puck is taken away by Paul, but Paul can't clear. Good keep in by Teravainen to Jarvis. Jarvis's pass intercepted by Foot, and now Tampa can clear. 2:25 left in the second period. All the Canes come within a whisker of extending their lead to 3-0.
Man, when you look at it, too, I know everybody wants to say, call a power play unit an A power play unit. But you look at all the contestants, and I think the Hurricanes are truly and earnestly going to have 2 competing power play units for ice time. Every team desires to have that. You really do.
Now a giveaway in Tampa with a snapshot as Dumont puts it on Anderson, and Dumont, he had 30 goals last year with Syracuse, but Carolina scurries away with it. Kotkaniemi leaves it for Natchez. Now Svechnikov in the slot. His shot is blocked and deflected away. Good play out in front. Now a chance for Tampa the other way. Jamel Smith, though, is given a rough ride in front of Anderson, and Anderson sees that and knocks it to the corner.
Yeah, see, that's the growth of Andrei Svechnikov. He's a winger, but, defensemen, as they properly chase the puck just about outside the dots, the winger coming back, oftentimes it's a centerman, but you have to be on the defensive side of the puck, and Andre was.
Down to Mesnikov with a good move inside the Canes line. He's able to wire this one across for Koepke. He'll send it down low. Barre-Boulet tries to get a stick in there, but Canes are able to clear. Good defensive play made there by Andrei Svechnikov on cue, Trip, as you mentioned. And now 59 seconds left as that puck is iced, so the faceoff will come all the way back in the Hurricanes' end.
And this is a nice situational moment because Kotkaniemi, Necas, and Svechnikov, they are tired, as are the two defensemen. So now you have a righty. Necas taking the draw. If he can develop this, and he wins it. That's a nice situation.
He wins it cleanly from Nemesnikov, but Carolina trying to clear. Second attempt, Necas flips this one high, and the Canes are able to get a couple of new players on the ice as Kotkaniemi and Svechnikov head to the bench. And now Jones will cross-corner this one into the Canes end. Chatfield, go get to it. Carolina eases this one back into the Tampa zone with 35 seconds remaining in the second period.
You'll see a lot of situations like that Necas wins the draw, then the two defensemen eventually get the puck up the ice, late period situation, Coughlin and Chatfield get off. That's a nice job there of digging in.
Stahl goes all the way behind his own net to take some more time off here. There's just 10 seconds left in the period. Now Jesper Fast, he goes cross ice and a hammered shot by Shea, but Legacy sees it the whole way and he'll melt it down. 6.3 seconds left in the second.
What was it? The come from behind game New Year's Day in Columbus that Shea, had something good offensively happen. Then he went on a bit of an offensive run. He had always had his chances. Their Legacy makes a good glove save. Brady got a lot of it.
Career highs for Shea last year in goals and assists. 9 goals, 30 assists. So do the math. That's a career high in points as well. Face off to the right of Legacy. It's won by Tampa, thrown back into the boards, going after his foot. He's sealed off in a sneaky chance late by Jesper Fast, but Legacy will make the save. Well, Trip, 40 minutes in the books. Carolina has a 2-0 lead. 2 power play goals in the second period from Svechnikov and Stasny. And the Canes have a 2-0 lead after 40. Coming up, Adam Gold has our intermission report here. We will be ready for the third period after that, with Carolina striking twice with a man advantage, taking a 2-0 lead here after 40 on the Carolina Hurricanes Radio Network.
Fellas, it's time to get off the bench and get into the game of love. Reliable Jewelry in Raleigh can coach you through finding the perfect engagement ring. How reliable are we? Since 1949, 3 generations of our family have paired up triangle couples with their ideal engagement ring. So we can certainly get you a winner too. Best of all, we have lower overhead, so we pass those savings on to you. For luxury and affordability, come see us at 345 South Wilmington Street in downtown Raleigh and reliablejewelry.com.
When storms hit, we're here for you. With new grid technology that can reroute power to avoid outages, and better communication to keep you in the know. And as we transition to a cleaner energy future, we'll still be here for you, keeping your costs down, even as we work to expand renewables and explore new energy sources. We're Duke Energy, and we're building a smarter,
online.
All you gotta do is have an internet connection and you can do it.
Become an IT pro in just months with zero experience at My Computer.
Adam Gold here in the second intermission. Last year, remember, against the Rangers. Coughlin gets Perry Kotkaniemi with assists on both goals. Some good passing, secondary assists, really setting up lot of the same in the second. A 19. Good when needed, but he hasn't really been needed. We'll be back with the second period highlights. Canes lead the Lightning 2-0. This is the Carolina Hurricanes Radio Network.
Canes to learn more.
Switch to
how much you could save. Visit SpectrumMobile.com.
a car lover. Ed Vince is a guy who loves die-hard batteries, oil bundles, and air fresheners. Ed Vance is not sure why he refers to himself in third person. Thanks for listening to my Ed.
Chances galore, like this flurry from newcomers. Second period highlights.
Lead for Stasny. Now Chatfield's drive, that's deflected over the top of Legacy's neck. Oh, the Canes are buzzing right now.
That's exactly what I was going to say. Then just past the midway mark of the second, Canes on the power play. Nice passing leads to a 1-0 lead.
Opportunity now is 10 seconds left on the power play. Sent back for Svechnikov. He scores on the power play. Oh, that thing was an absolute rocket. And the Canes go up 1-0.
A little bit later on, Carolina gets another power play. Cal foot in the box, and Coughlin's drive redirected in front by Stasny, don't you know?
Now Coughlin to Natchez, walking through the right face-off circle up top. Coughlin, he scores! Oh! A laser out in front, might have been deflected, but
very late in the period from the side of the goal, but was the
Parts people can also offer free check engine light diagnosis. We can scan your vehicle and provide a list of possible fixes. Find the right parts for you or recommend a great local repair shop. Don't ignore your check engine light. Stop by your local O'Reilly Auto Parts.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
Are you seeing the telomeres here? Come here, look at the scope.
Dr. Ocasio's lab startup just
And it's time for some game analysis brought to you by Advance Auto Parts. Advance your order. Corey Lavalette, North State Journal editor, at Corey Lav on Twitter. Broad brush. What have you seen so far?
This is everything, right? We have to make all of our sweeping assessments after 40 minutes of preseason hockey.
Stanley Cup.
Didn't score for a bit, but got it going. Really haven't given up a whole lot other than a couple little miscues, one by Anderson.
All right, I think what we're all looking for, and Corey Lavalette is
the salary cap situation with presumably.
Don't jump ahead. We're going to get to that.
Okay. I think they're going to be able to carry 23.
Yeah.
So that opens up in front of the net. That's him. I wouldn't rule out Derek Stepan. Right-handed center is something that they don't really have right now. We saw Marty Natchez get a chance on the penalty kill there with Stahl. And took the defensive zone draw down here. So that's something that Rod likes to do.
Mm-hmm.
So if he can do that, that might hurt Stepan's chances. But I think, the big thing is going to be the 7 defensemen. Who are the 7 guys there? Coghlan obviously made himself a good case. Ethan Bear's got work to do. I thought Jalen Chatfield had a really good 2 periods. But
I've liked him.
It's 40 minutes of a preseason game of the first time a guy's getting on the ice.
Do you anticipate that we'll see Coghlan, Chatfield? I mean, Nason isn't in the lineup tonight, but those guys who are kind of on that bubble, do you think we'll see them play 4 maybe of the 5 preseason games?
If all the games happen.
That's true. That is true. We think the Florida game is going to happen on Thursday.
Yeah. So, and then you have Calvin DeHaan, who is the one left-handed guy. And the one thing I wonder about a little with those group of 3 guys you talked about is, do you have a solid penalty killer in that group? Now, we don't know enough about Dylan Coghlan yet. Ethan Bear, I don't feel like we got a good assessment of what he's capable of last year, given the way his year went. Jalen Chatfield has killed penalties in the AHL, but, different animal here. So I doubt they want to run their top 4 out all the time to be killing penalties. So does that open a door for Calvin DeHaan, who could be a perfect 6 or 7 who you can play? And if the penalty kill starts to get a little wonky in that second pairing, hey, not a bad guy to put out there and clear the front of the net out.
Not to mention, there's only 2 left-shot defensemen on this team right now in Slavin and Shea, with Jake Gardner almost definitely headed for long-term IR again. You mentioned the salary cap, and you're the best I know at clearing up these situations. The way I look at it, Jake Gardner going on LTIR pretty much clears enough room for them to keep 23. They might have to get a body out, but I think they should be okay.
Well, they have to. They're going to want to get as close to that ceiling as they can. So you're at 82.5. You add 4.05 with Gardner. So now what they're going to want to do, because the way the salary cap will work now, is they won't be able to bank money this year.
Right, like last year.
Right. They're going to have to get to as high as they can to start the season, which if everyone remembers last year, Drury and Itu Makiniemi made the opening day roster just because their rosters fit their salaries fit the best in the roster to get them as high as they want. So the opening roster, like when the NHL says send your rosters in, might not be who we see opening night. But I think, I think you're right. 23, and it's going to be and if Calvin DeHaan makes the team, they might tell him, hey, Calvin, the best number is this, because it'll get us right to the top.
Yeah, well, so they won't have to LTIR Max Pacioretty, which would make him one of the all-time great deadline acquisitions, because his return is right around the trade deadline, late February, early March, right?
Yeah, I talked to Max for about 15 minutes today at the end of practice, and it looks like things are going well. He told me he's doing well. I mentioned the outdoor game, and he seemed to think that he'll be ready before that. So, we'll see where that goes. But, yeah, for sure.
Only question is, will we be ready before the outdoor game? It's Corey Lavalette, North Star Journal. Thank you very much for your time. Back with an NHL scoreboard after these words from your local station on the Carolina Hurricanes Radio Network.
Hello, I'm John Heister for John Heister Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram in Lillington. Customers ask us all the time, how can we sell that many vehicles in a small town like Lillington? The answer's simple. We do what we say we're going to do. So if you're in the market for a Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram, get off your keister and come to Heister. And by the way, you won't have to hear blah, 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 all included.
It's Ram Power Days. Come get your Ram 1500 while there's 0% on all 2022 Ram 1500 Classic, Bighorn packages and Laramies. Plus 0% for 72 months on 2022 Gladiator Overland packages now at John Heister Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram in Lillington.
Diamonds Direct's unbelievable zero-interest finance offer is coming to a close, but you have until this Sunday to take advantage of 5 years zero-interest financing on any purchase. Now more than ever, it's the smartest way to buy. You can get that engagement ring or fabulous piece of designer jewelry and spread your payments over 5 years without paying a dime in interest. This amazing offer is good through this weekend only. Diamonds Direct, your love, our passion. Get all the details, including special Sunday hours, at diamondsdirect.com on approved credit.
Adam Gold back with you. Carolina leading Tampa by the score of 2-0. NHL scoreboard. Canes obviously with a 2-0 lead over the Tampa Bay Lightning with Andrei Svechnikov and Paul Stastny with goals. Just glancing around the NHL. Red Wings with a 4-2 lead on the Penguins. Devils 4, Islanders 1. Pair of former Hurricanes with goals, Dougie Hamilton and Eric Holla, each with goals for the Devils. Rangers lead the Bruins 2-1. Adam Fox, not really a former Hurricane, but close enough. He's got a goal. Sabres with a 2-1 lead over the Flyers. Coyotes and Stars 1-1 after one. Senators and Jets 1-1 in the first. Blues lead the Blackhawks 1-0 as well. A little bit later on, the Wild and the Avalanche, the Flames, and the Seattle Kraken. The NHL scoreboard is brought to you by Cardinal Apparel, proud partner and T-shirt provider of the Carolina Hurricanes. Paul Stastny, Andrei Svechnikov with a pair of power play goals. Dylan Coghlan with a couple of assists. Yes, Barry Kotkaniemi with a couple of assists. And Freddie Anderson, not tested too much, 13 saves. And the Hurricanes with a 34-13 edge in shots. Third period, straight ahead. Mike and Tripp coming up.
As the official security partner of the Carolina Hurricanes, Vector Security is invested in the success of everyone in the Triangle. If you run a business here, they understand your primary focus is serving your customers. And a big part of that is making sure your customers, your employees, and your inventory are all safe and secure. Vector Security can help. Schedule a free business security health check today, and one of their local security experts will help assess your needs. Visit them online at vectorsecurity.com/Canes to learn more. Mike Maniscalco here, and I'm hanging out with my good friend Paul Auclair, the owner of Deep River Brewing Company and proud sponsor of your Carolina Hurricanes. Paul, tell us a little bit about Deep River Brewing Company.
Deep River Brewing Company is located at 700 West Main Street in historic downtown Clayton, North Carolina. Our brewery and tap room are open Wednesday through Sunday. We have 12 beers on tap and food trucks on site daily.
And you can find Deep River Beer.
Burger sounds amazing, but it does sound like something is missing. Pepsi, baby! The yin to this burger's yang. Burgers and Pepsi go together like burgers and Pepsi. This perfect blending of flavors makes every bite of lettuce, every sesame seed on the bun, and every sip of that crisp, refreshing, ice-cold cola a journey to Foodtopia. Burgers, better with Pepsi. That's what I like.
Getting ready for the third period here between the Hurricanes and Lightning. Carolina up 2-0 after 40 minutes of play alongside Tripp Tracy. I'm Mike Maniscalco, technical engineer John Brockwell. So the power play 2 for 3 tonight, Tripp. 2 power play goals in that second period. 2 impressive power play goals. But as we advance to the final period tonight, what's the thing that, if you're Rod Brindamore and the guys, you want to continue to build on?
Well, I'm just quickly doing an Elias check in my head because Svechnikov, one of the 2 goal scorers, has 7 shots through 2 periods. So let's say he puts 3 or 4 on the board. gets to 10 or 11. That has to be close. Shots in a game close to a Hurricanes record. And then 5 shots each for Brady Shea and the other goal scorer, Paul Stastny.
So good to see. And, of course, Paul Stastny fitting in well with his new team. Coming across from Winnipeg. He was an unrestricted free agent this summer. And he had a very nifty power play goal on a deflection. Now out in front. Tampa starting the period off strong. Barry Boulet's backhand was handled by Anderson. Puck kept in for the moment. Svechnikov gets to it, and he's able to clear that one off of the body of Hagel. And I'll say the puck was touched with a high stick, so we'll stop things 36 seconds into this third period.
Svechnikov has learned to deal with that pinching defenseman coming down the wall so much better. And being able to loft the puck, just get it in the neutral zone, a whistle, and the ability to make a change. You know, just all the little things.
So face off at center ice. Sebastian Aho wins it away from Nemesnikov over to Chatfield. He'll wrap it in the zone. Teravainen, he'll wave at it. Chatfield pinching in from the point. And keep it in. Aho will get to it. He'll take a look. Set it across for Jarvis, who brooms at that one. And now the deflection will roll in. And Maxime Legacy, who's had a busy night tonight, seeing 34. That'll be a 35th shot on goal. We'll freeze that right there.
The Aho line on the ice, it was laughing with Sebastian Aho and Jordan Stahl, asking them if they remember who they played in their first preseason game, who their line mates were. Jordan Stahl, when he made the Penguins when he wasn't supposed to back in 2006. And I remember Sebastian came from the World Cup at the time. I mean, that was amazing, a player that hadn't played an NHL game yet that was featured on that Finnish World Cup roster. And they obviously knew something that we all now know and have long known.
It's again, hard to believe for those two players. 17 seasons ago for Jordan Stahl and 7 seasons for Sebastian Aho. Now an opportunity for Teravainen as he and Aho. We're trying to combine right there, but that's thwarted by Nemesnikov, and Tampa Bay will spindle this one back into the Canes' end.
Good defensive play there from former Hurricane Hayden Fleury. If it's the regular season, Aho shoots that puck.
And we've seen those two on so many 2-on-1s throughout their careers here in Raleigh. And now Carolina's Stahl, the captain, with it. He looks a little, every year he comes in a camp trip, a little bit more leaner, a little bit faster it looks like. And now he's got a good play behind the net, trying to set up Fost, but that'll be deflected away. Tampa skating out with it is Jamel Smith. Goes it behind the net where giving chase for it is Goncalves. He's tied up with Stahl. No fence for it behind the net. Still loose behind the Canes' net. Trying to settle that down is Smith. He gets it back to the point for Roman Schmidt. Schmidt around the boards. Jasper Fost chips it out. And the Canes will get to it. Stastny trying to find Stahl, but his pass interrupted. Well, 6'6" of Roman Schmidt will control the loose puck.
Just that little one-chip breakout play from Jesper Fost. How often does he do it? Slashing across Stastny.
Now Lucas Edmonds, born in Toronto, but his dad played in the lower levels in Sweden, so he's got dual Canadian and Swedish citizenship. He's trying to find his way in the Tampa organization. He was an older draftee. And Tampa feels they might have found a player. They traded up to get him this year. Traded a 4th-round pick. Some considerations, and now we've got a fight in front of the Canes bench. Peterson, he and Finley going at it. They're entangled. Peterson takes a right from Finley, and the linesmen get in the middle of this one, and they stop it, and no further punches after that. As those two came together in front of the Hurricanes bench, and teammates on both sides applauding the effort here in this preseason game with 16:42 left in the third period.
I'm not sure if it was a part of the fact that the fight happened between Finley and Peterson but Peterson, a center, coming on for Jordan Stahl, and Tampa trying to irritate Jordan Stahl at the end of his shift. And Jordan Stahl, he's not going to, he's not going to engage in any form or fashion in that, here on September 27th. Peterson comes on the ice. Finley, who has a big frame. I'm a big believer in what potentially he can become, a 2020 second-round pick. But Peterson, who's had a pretty good night so far in the face-off circle, maybe there's a carryover. He's a guy, he's trying to make an impression. His captain just came off the ice, and Tampa was trying to irritate him, like I said. So a good fight both ways.
Now the Hurricanes, as we have 5-on-5, as you mentioned, 5 minutes for fighting for both players there. Canes trying to clear the puck out of their zone. Tampa battling for it along the boards. Boulet tries to come out with it, but the Canes clear.
As we celebrate the 25th anniversary in Carolina, the first preseason game when the team was playing in Greensboro, I was talking to N&O writer Chip Alexander this morning, and that game, preseason game against the Islanders, featured 7 fights. 7. Stu Grimson had 3.
Little different time now. As Kotkaniemi gets a chance, leans into one, and a big save in the rebound attempt is stopped by Legacy. Oh, Kotkaniemi is having a very good evening for the Hurricanes. 2 assists as well, Tripp.
He absolutely is. And you know what else you're going to like, too, and a guy that has an assist? Marty Necas had the middle lane drive that creates the passing lane. Chatfield, heads-up play to put it right on the tape of Kotkaniemi, and Kotkaniemi gets it to the net with elevation quickly. So a lot to like there. And I agree with you. Kotkaniemi had 2 significant assists in the second period. Necas has looked good. They both factored on that play.
Got to go back to the 7 fights, though, with Stu Grimson. Was it 1 every period?
I don't know. I was actually in the stands that game because I was at training camp as a player, but I don't remember when those fights occurred.
Now Coughlin will roll this one in, and Legacy will make the save again. It's still a physical game. It's a collision sport. They say contact, but no, there are big collisions in this sport. So there's, I know, a lot of sides to the should fighting still be a part of the game or shouldn't it? I think that there's a place for it. I'm glad that the staged fights have seemed to have found their way out of the NHL.
Oh, yeah. Now when they occur, I don't remember the last stage fight. It's for a purpose.
Now Aho walks in and scores!
Finish that conversation I had with Sebastian this morning. He said, Tripp, my preseason numbers are deplorable. Teravainen initially causes the turnover, and then an absolutely perfectly placed shot on the short side. He caused Roman Schmidt to think he was going to the middle. Schmidt trips over his skates, and then just a highlight reel shot.
Roll the highlight reel. Shades of in the bubble against the Rangers. That move and that finish that he had on Henrik Lundqvist. And on his former teammate Tony DeAngelo at the time.
We wish Tony the very, very best in Philadelphia.
Yes.
Well, that was some kind of play. Just that deception of Schmidt thinking he was going in the middle.
Now Stromwell sidesteps a hit from Chernak, but can't complete the pass, and Tampa goes the other way, but they'll be offside at the Canes blue line. They'll have to tag up. Carolina gets possession. Now storming in is Pashin. He'll wave at it, but he'll have his stick lifted by Koepke. Those two played against each other last week in this building as the Carolina Hurricanes prospects took on the Tampa Bay Lightning prospects.
Yeah, and I think Pashin in the prospects tournament, because I think the pace is elevated a year from that. He's got more room to decide whether he's going to shoot or pass that puck.
Now Jarvis decides to shoot and scores.
Rewind the clock to the preseason last year, where Seth Jarvis was fabulously noticeable each and every shift. I mean, and this is Chernak. This is a National Hockey League defenseman and a very good one. And like Aho, the only difference being he goes. He was definitely leaning towards the short side. Boy, two individual gems and efforts from Aho and now Jarvis.
All right, 2 goals, a minute and 31 seconds apart for the Carolina Hurricanes to boost their lead to 4-0 here. And now looking for more as Svechnikov deflects that one wide. 4-0 Carolina leading the Tampa Bay Lightning here in game 1 of the preseason. Thanks for joining us here on the Hurricanes Radio Network and watching the stream on CarolinaHurricanes.com. And just 2 highlight reel goals we've been treated to in this third period from Sebastian Aho and now Seth Jarvis.
Yeah, Seth, he's a pure finisher in my opinion. You know, he has the ability to do what he did at top speed, but then to outthink the goaltender. And I wouldn't be surprised if Seth recognized that Legacy was leaning to the short side, so he went high glove.
Now with Peterson in the box for fighting, Aho getting a chance for a shift with Malty Stromwell and Alexander Pashin. And drive there from Griffin Mendel goes wide of the Tampa Bay crease. Now Teravainen will get to it. Teravainen in, turn and he'll feather one. And Legacy will try to glove that down, can't, but it's picked up. And Koepke works it into the Kane zone. Whistle behind the play is Koepke did not gain center ice, so icing against Tampa. Bring the draw all the way back into the Lightning zone with 11:58 remaining here in the third period. 4-0 Hurricanes lead.
Well, Big Rick said, you're going to make the team. And, you know, now the challenge is so many great players.
Outstanding football coach Marty Schottenheimer was talking about when you have a rookie trip who has a really good year. His second year, everybody raises the bar and goes, as a coach, what you're hoping for is they just duplicate that rookie, and then you go from there. Don't take that step back. Don't set the bar that you have to. If you score 20, and he was talking football, like if you have a quarterback, you throw 20 touchdowns, don't think that you got to throw 30. Same thing here. But I think the sky's the limit for Seth Jarvis because of how he thinks and then plays the game.
Well, it's going to become tougher because he's not going to catch anybody by surprise. No. Everybody knows who Seth Jarvis is. You know, so it's a tough lead.
Yeah, Tampa with the keep in at the Canes blue line. Chernak's drive goes off of the shoulder, wide of the net. Carolina will get to it and just break this one out. Back to the Tampa zone. Spun back forward for Jamel Smith. Smith will chase after it. Mendel had to take a peek when Smith was going after him. Buck along the boards and crashing into it for Tampa was Gabe Fortier. Carolina, those able to clear this one all the way back and picked up by Chernak. 10:25 left in the third.
And you're looking for the areas of the game that Seth showed a rapid learning curve defensively away from the puck to continue to grow that are equally as important to the coaching staff. And knowing his makeup, I expect that to happen.
Carolina on the puck, Svechnikov with it. Trying to get it to Kotkaniemi, and it'll dribble into the Tampa zone. Remember last year it was on that Western Canada trip where you were talking about for Jarvis, who had such a good start that maybe he was hitting that rookie wall because he hadn't gone through that before. What was the turning point for you where you saw that he bust through that wall?
Vancouver. Team lost the game. He then had a COVID positive test, but Vancouver, he was back to himself.
Hagel with a couple of tries out in front. Anderson with a save. As Anderson has had basically zero work this third period. The halfway point, Tampa finally tries him, and Anderson comes up with a save.
Yeah, his homecoming in Winnipeg, and then games in Calgary and Edmonton. He had hit the wall for me, and then it was a back-to-back in Vancouver, and it signaled to me that he crashed through the wall. And then, unfortunately, he missed a couple weeks because he was in protocol. But that was the game.
Caution. Leave this one in for Teravainen. Aho. They're the line mates right now with Alexander Caution. This puck is now being bounced around the neutral zone by Tampa. Quick moving third period, despite the fact Carolina's got 2 goals in this one. 8:45 left now. A turnover created. Is Caution with a good job now. Driving to the front of the net is Stromwell. Aho gets it to Stromwell. Now back to the point. Worked across. And the shot by Mendel goes wide, and it'll be scooped up, and Tampa goes away as Chernak will flip this one in high. Koepke chases after it. He gets behind Honka. Good job, though, by Honka to knock it away. And now behind the net, down in front, Anderson makes the save. Nemestikov, second opportunity on the rebound. Drives it home after a dazzling first save, but the rebound goes back to Vlad Nemestikov, and Tampa gets on the board with 8:18 left here in the third.
Now the front of the net, unfortunately, glaring defensive zone breakdown. I think there was a line change going on, and so you had Honka on the one wall, and then Mendel loses his footing. Anderson makes a super first stop, as you mentioned. And Nemestikov, quick hands to regather the puck before Freddie can pounce on it with his glove. But still a good moment to see Freddie make that type of point-blank save on Nemestikov. But the Hurricanes' defensive zone coverage has been good.
Flip this back in the Hurricane zone. Pesce gets to it for Carolina. This will make the line, and it'll be icing against the Hurricanes. 8:03 left here in the third.
Speaking of Carolina's defense, something that's been a very positive takeaway for me in this game is they have been a very regular part of the attack. Expect that. But offensively, they have shot the puck when necessary, and they've made the one extra pass when they could have had tunnel vision when necessary, too. That's been a definite positive.
Tampa controls the draw. Foot leans into one. Anderson blockers that one into the corner. Now Pesce will dive after it, but Tampa able to get there first. Hayden Fleury sticks his nose in there. Peterson gets to the loose puck, sends it around the boards. Not out. Behind the net. It's controlled there by Dumont. He'll lose it, and Carolina with a chance. Pashin will take it. Little set play and a give and go as Pashin now threads the needle. And taking a big hit there was Peterson. Gabriel Dumont with the block. Now Chatfield. He gets in front of Gabe Fortier. Puck goes to the corner. Drive from the point off of Jones's stick, got through, and some traffic out in front. So now it's Tampa getting some pressure here on Anderson and company here late in the third period.
Did you see what Stastny did there? He knew a line change was going on, therefore he didn't challenge going to the middle of the ice, just moved it up so the change could take place in a low-risk fashion.
Pucks along the boards to the left of Anderson in the corner. And fighting for it. There's Goncalves. He's trying to come away with it. It'll be handled by Smith, but that hits a body and goes all the way across, and that's chopped out by Jesper Fast. Now Stastny. He is marking Roman Schmidt. Schmidt fires up for Barre Boulet too far. Mendel will get to it, and he'll rim this one hard in the Tampa zone and allow the Hurricanes to make a change. 6 minutes left here in the third period. 4-1 Carolina leads Tampa Bay. Now Pesce with a nice play at center ice to deflect the Tampa pass and thwart any opportunity of offensive momentum there, but Tampa gets a second try to get it in deep. They do. Anderson cuts it off. Now chopped off the boards from Teravainen to Aho. Aho surveys the scene and gets it in deep. And crashing in out in front was Pesce from his defensive position, way up. A good read of the play, and Tripp highlighted it earlier. The Canes defense have the green light to do that. Now a chance for Chernak, though, on the loose puck. Colton through center ice. They'll give up the puck. It goes across for Hagel, and Hagel throws it outside of the Canes zone. They'll get a return chance to carry it in. Hagel down the right wing. He's watched there by Shea. A chance for Paul, but he'll give up the puck, and the Canes will scoot out with it. Kotkaniemi with some speed. Lays it for Natchez. Natchez back for Coughlin. Coughlin thinks about a shot. Stands on that opportunity, but now just twisted in deep. Look at it, Svechnikov. He's given a hack in the corner, but Svechnikov steps away from Chernak. Puck still along the near boards. Fought for, kept in by Svechnikov. He leaves it back in a quick shot, and that's glove from Coughlin. His stick into the glove of Legacy. 4:34 left in the third period. Carolina leads the Lightning 4-1 here on the Carolina Hurricanes Radio Network.
Hi, I'm Capri, and the little thing I love about the Chick-fil-A Grilled Spicy Deluxe is the chicken. They actually put it on the grill, cooked it in the sauce. It's definitely a good grilled spicy sandwich.
Hey, I'm Michelle, and a little thing I love about the Chick-fil-A Grilled Spicy Deluxe is it's spicy and it's full of flavor. When you pair that with the kale crunch salad, it's just good.
Order a grilled spicy deluxe sandwich on the Chick-fil-A app today. Available for a limited time. Real guests paid for their testimonials.
Hey, Ed Vance for Advance Auto Parts here. Welcome to Ed Talk Radio, Episode 1. Who the heck is Ed Vance? Well, Ed Vance is a guy, me, who loves Advance Auto Parts. Not just because of the Ed Vance thing. Ed Vance is a car lover. Ed Vance is a guy who loves die-hard batteries, oil bundles, and air fresheners. Ed Vance is not sure why he refers to himself in third person. Thanks for listening to my Ed Talk.
This is how we advance.
Together, that's how we stay in the game, ready to play. As one great team, UNC Health is keeping you well by bringing renewed focus, approach, and dedicated services close to you. Exceptional care is what you and your family deserve. Together, let's put points on the board for life well played. Team up with UNC Health, official healthcare provider of the Carolina Hurricanes.
4:34 left in the third period. Carolina leading Tampa Bay 4-1. Alongside Tripp Tracy, I'm Mike Maniscalco, technical engineer John Brockwell. Stay tuned after the game. We'll have the 3 stars of this one for you. And if you had a vote right now, Tripp, who would you be casting the number 1 star vote?
Period.
So, let's see. For Mr. Svechnikov, he has no shots this period. He came in with 7, and he's stuck on 7 right now.
Yeah, those would be the guys. Stastny has had a very good night, too.
As Tampa has moved the puck out of their own zone, and Jamel Smith into the Kane zone. Smith sends it across for Fleury. Fleury wrists one on Anderson, and he'll absorb that. No rebound given, and hang on. Face-off coming up in the Kane zone.
It's been a good night for Freddie Anderson with just over 4 to play. He's gotten to feel the puck. The Hurricanes, came out of the gate as they often do in this building. A major differential in shots on goal, but he's seen some testers. He's seen a variety of different shots. He's felt some contact.
Now face off to the right of Anderson. We'll do it again, and now some shoving afterwards. As Jamel Smith gave Peterson a shove after the fact.
Peterson coming off that fight with Finley. And Smith is one of the guys on a short list that possibly could crack this Tampa lineup. Brings a lot of energy to their fourth line.
And Smith was with Detroit last year, put on waivers, and Tampa claimed him back. So looking for an opportunity. You know, that's one of the things, Tripp, when you've had all the success that Tampa's had, teams around the league will find a way to raid your players when they become unrestricted free agents or if they get put through waivers. And put in a claim for him. It's Carolina now with possession of the puck. Honka's drive doesn't get through. Pashin will touch it, but we get a stoppage of play. We're getting a hand pass, so bring the puck outside of the Tampa zone with 3:45 left here in the third.
And they've also traded some high-end draft picks in the last few years, which is going to make their development of the players they have in their system to locate the finds that they always have that much more important. Al Murray has long done an excellent job with their scouting department.
The face-off was in the Tampa zone, so pass coming from the Lightning out. An opportunity there for Edmonds to clear, can't do it. Puck wrapped around the near boards, kept in by Stahl. Stahl takes a bump from Edmonds. He'll get it down low. Jones will just clear this one out. Coughlin goes back to his own end, and he'll gain possession for Carolina. Across for Chatfield. This will be deflected. Good play by Jesper Fast. He'll get the puck in deep. And that'll be scooped away by Ryan Jones. Jones, 26 years old, 76 games with Syracuse last year. 4th round pick of Pittsburgh back in the 2016 draft. Tampa throws this back into the Kane zone. Anderson will settle it down there. And Honka is being watched by Barré-Boulet. He is content to let time melt off the clock here in a 4-1 lead for Carolina with 2:40 left. Now a chance for Kotkaniemi to get a stick to it. That'll be in the corner. Taken away by Chernak. He'll throw it off of a body, and now skate race. Hagel. He'll get to it. Spin one out in front. Anderson comes out and makes a body save. A good anticipation from Frederik Andersen as Hagel tried to set up Paul.
Yeah, Paul, through 2 periods, led Tampa with 5 shots. And there, Freddie, I mean, heck of an agile save. It looked like he got it with his right knee.
Now Svechnikov is taken down at the side of the Tampa net. Penalty coming up. And Svechnikov is entangled with Paul, so taking Svechnikov a little longer than I think most Canes fans would like to see him get on his feet, but Svechnikov looks no worse for wear, so with 2:05 left in the third, the Canes power play, that is 2 for 3, will get one more crack at it here tonight.
We've seen everything that you would have hoped for with Svechnikov, and come on back for the conclusion. We might just see a little bit more.
Right here, the Canes on the power play. 2:05 left in the third on the Hurricanes Radio Network.
Mike Maniscalco here, and I'm hanging out with my good friend Paul Auclair, the owner of Deep River Brewing Company and proud sponsor of your Carolina Hurricanes. Paul, tell us a little bit about Deep River Brewing Company.
Deep River Brewing Company is located at 700 West Main Street in historic downtown Clayton, North Carolina. Our brewery and tap room are open Wednesday through Sunday. We have 12 beers on tap and food trucks on site daily.
And you can find Deep River beer at local bottle shops, restaurants, and grocery stores. If you don't find Deep River at your local watering hole, make sure to ask for it by name. And remember, drink local. As the official security partner of the Carolina Hurricanes, Vector Security is invested in the success of everyone in the Triangle. If you run a business here, they understand your primary focus is serving your customers. And a big part of that is making sure your customers, your employees, and your inventory are all safe and secure. Vector Security can help. Schedule a free business security health check today, and one of their local security experts will help assess your needs. Visit them online at vectorsecurity.com/Canes to learn more.
Hey, Hurricanes fans, no matter how you celebrate game day, it's all about the food. And Harris Teeter has everything you need. Delicious subs and wraps, fresh hot store-made pizza, all sizes of party platters or ready-to-serve wing trays, just to name a few. Plus, with Harris Teeter fuel points, you can earn free fuel with every purchase you make, up to $1 off per gallon. Stop at your Harris Teeter for great savings on all your game day needs, or download the HT app to order ahead. Harris Teeter, where Hurricanes fans shop for groceries.
Canes power play going to work here with 2:05 left in the third. Chip Tracy, Mike Maniscalco here on the Hurricanes Radio Network. Our next broadcast will be Thursday night from Sunrise, Florida, when the Canes take on the Florida Panthers Thursday night. Again, our thoughts are with everyone on the western part of the state of Florida in the Tampa Bay area. Tomorrow night's game has been postponed as Canes power play gets to work right now, but our next broadcast will be Thursday. Carolina right now working the power play trip, where Pashin and Peterson getting a look here late.
Smart adjustment. Your power play's 2 for 4. I'm sure Rod's seen all he's needed to see very positively. So the fourth line gets a crack on this power play with 2 defensemen and Honka and Coghlan.
Stromwell with his shot and he scores! Malty Stromwell, molto bene! 5-1, Carolina with another power play goal.
That is that release we've seen in practice. And Stromwell can fire the puck. I mean, a high riser, avoids that stick that's coming at him to try to block it from Hayden Fleury. The question for him will be, I mentioned it earlier in the broadcast, is can he get himself in positions to use that shot here at the NHL level? Because when he can, you saw it in living, breathing color right there, he can finish. It's been very noticeable in all the prospect practices. Rod's done a really nice job. You know, he's had an NHL group and then the group featuring the majority of the prospects, and Stromwell can finish when he can find the time and space to do so.
19 goals last year in 38 games with Minsk in the KHL. And from Moscow to Minsk with that shot, he scored a lot of goals.
Things are quicker now. They become even much quicker. October 12th, and they become much quicker in the second half of the season. Can you adjust to that pace to use the shot?
Now 40 seconds left here. Peterson with the puck. And Stromwell, Pashin, and Peterson on the ice right now. Pashin's pass for Chatfield. He's knocked off the puck. Carolina, though, will get to it at center ice. Coghlan rims it right back around. Pashin along the left boards. He'll keep it in. He'll get it to Peterson. Now Chatfield finds Coghlan. Coghlan rings one off the post. He was looking for a goal of his own. Now Chatfield reloads and, like I say, makes the save. Carolina with 45 shots. There's 10 seconds left here in this game. And then taken down to the ice is Peterson by Hayden Fleury, and that'll stop play. And the Canes fans in attendance, none too happy as they see their former first-round pick head to the penalty box with 6 seconds left.
And it looks like Peterson's okay, and it gives us an opportunity. I mean, this is, I think, a check all the boxes positive night for the Carolina Hurricanes. Thoroughly so. Most importantly, it seems that everybody, it would seem, has gotten through the game healthy. Your power play clicks twice. Three times on the most recent one from Stromwell. But your NHLers click twice on the man advantage. The defenseman very active. A lot of really good efforts. September 27th, it's your first of 6 preseason games, but everything seemed to be a positive here tonight, Mike.
As the Canes will now officially be 3 for 5 on the power play with that 6 seconds left, and Tampa rings this one around. You hear the horn, and congratulations. Great to see Frederik Andersen back in the net for the first time since April 16th. And as you mentioned, this game, it clicked all the boxes if you're the Carolina Hurricanes organization.
It certainly did. For Freddie, looked very comfortable coming back from that knee injury. It was good to see him. I mean, he only saw 21 shots, but there were some high-caliber shots in there. And, he faced some traffic, some contact. The blue line was dynamic, no doubt about it. Good start for Coughlin, coming over from Vegas with Max Pacioretty. Up front, Stastny had a bunch of really good moments and a beautiful redirection. Kokaniemi, big year for him. Had a very encouraging first night, as did Natchez, looking for a bounce-back year, and Svechnikov.
And it's time to announce
might end up being the first star here momentarily.
We'll find out. Third star of the game.
Wade Minner with the calls
Hurricanes now. With 2 assists tonight. Number 82, Jesperi Kotkaniemi. The second star of the game from the Carolina Hurricanes with 3 assists tonight. Number 15, Dylan Coghlan. And the first star of the game from the Carolina Hurricanes with an assist and a power play goal. Number 37, Andrei Svechnikov.
Not too much to argue with the 3-star selection there. There were a lot of Canes players who could have fit the bill. Trip, you get the last word on this one before we let Adam Gold wrap it up on the network.
Very positive night. Very much so. There's a cultural element to this group. With this NHL-laden lineup, it's not the regular season. And it's tough, in a lot of ways. But a very professional approach. Some new guys. I mean, look at Coughlin. 3 assists. His offensive instincts that come natural to him. For Freddie Anderson, playing 60 minutes. For Paul Stastny, scoring one of those power play goals. Fitting in nicely, I thought, with Jordan Staal and Jesper Fast. And good for Malte Stromwell.